Hey Corals, how's it going? I'm sorry, it has been so long. I think by the time I upload this, it's going to be like 10 days, which is a long time, but I have been very busy, actually busy, not just like pretend Amber busy. And we got some things to talk about because apparently Amber just will not give it a rest. So if you're interested in Coral World stuff, please stick around and we're just going to get into it.
It's dark time as you know.
Okay, first things first. Obviously, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. My name is Rachel. It's after dark time. It's actually daytime right now, but I hope you'll excuse that. And we're just going to talk about what Amber's been up to because even though I have been busy, Amber has apparently also been busy and uploading just all the time, even when she said she was going to be off for a while. So we've got some things to talk about. All of it is silly, all of it is fun, and yeah, we're just going to do like a recap, I think, of the last weekish or so, and talk about what she's been up to. Honestly, I have so many things that I'm interested in talking about. I would really like to do the Jubilee video with Jillian Michaels. I also would like to do some stuff reacting to glitter and lasers, but Amber keeps pulling me back, and even when she's at her worst, apparently I can't stay away. So we're gonna get into watching some of the Amber videos that have been uploaded in the last like week or so, because Amber has been busy. Listen, she has been both on her regular channel, a bus, and then also decided to go to another channel where she thinks she can just hang out. And I'll be honest, watching it, I think Keem is getting real sick of Amber, which makes sense because I think most people are sick of Amber at this point. I don't know. I think the longer I'm into this, the more I'm like, Amber, I need you to go back to like once a week uploading. That was the pace that I think we all were happy with, right? Multiple hours a day of like stupid nonsense content, unwatchable. It's terrible. I think I need her to go back to, like last summer maybe she was uploading every like 3 or 4 days or something. That seemed like the right amount, and it was like a 15-minute video or so vlog. I think that is the right amount. I think this is too much, but we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna hit like the highlights because a lot of it is low lights. I'll just do the ones that the bits that I think are interesting. I do think this is going to end up being a longer video still, but, sometimes I just like to listen to like a podcast sort of situation too. So, I hope you'll stick around. And if you have things that you're interested in hearing from me, please let me know. And I'll definitely add them to my queue of things that I would like to talk about here. All right. So last we spoke, Amber was on the VC, holding up her ring finger. I guess this is your ring finger, and it had a dot of some sort, and people were speculating that it looked like it was an engagement ring. So one of my viewers, an eagle-eyed viewer, pointed out that it was indeed just I guess like the dot from bingo or whatever that she had daubed onto her finger that was glowing that made it look like it. And we have that confirmed in this, in this live that she's going to do. But I think we all knew what Amber was doing. She was frustrated that Tech had gotten engaged and was like trying to pull focus, blah, blah, blah. We know the story. I am going to be using apathetic facts just in general. I hope apathetic facts is getting that bag because they are like the #1 Amberlyn Reed historian at this point, I think. And I do think that they are doing well because they hit, almost 110,000 subscribers. But in addition to Emily visiting, it wasn't exactly like offline time, I would say, because Emily, we think, has been like uploading pictures of the two of them together. They do look superficially happy, but it's always hard to tell with these two. But thankfully, Apathetic Facts went through and made sure that they got all of it for us.
And while all of that's happening, there's also been a lot going on behind the scenes this week. So while everything felt paused, Amber was busy, and Emily made sure everyone saw it. Because not only did she post a bunch of new pictures, she also started responding to comments. She's saying things like, worth every mile, every time, talking about how they've been through so much together, and how if they can get through that, they can get through anything. When another viewer asks, so even after flirting with reaction channels, y'all are still together, Emily has the audacity to say, we weren't together when that happened, we've done our healing and we're in a really good place right now. And then when people asked if they were engaged, she said, someday. So, I guess that means a proposal is on the table at some.
Honestly, I think we can all agree that their relationship is weird and gross and I don't like it. But
Don't be fucking rude. Are you kidding me?
I guess I'm going to focus on the positives as much as I can because this is like a mega update and I need to stay positive. Otherwise, I'm going to go nuts. I guess I'm glad that the two of them are happy for each other. And I have said it before. I'm glad that they found each other because they both seem weird. They both seem like they have weird, bad energy. They both seem like they have very low vibrations. And I guess I'm just glad that they found each other, you know?
Moment.
Gross. The whale is here.
Don't be so mean. We love Amber here. This is Amber's show. Everyone, we need to recognize it's Amber's show. Carlos also dropped in. Why ALR already got a stank face? Come on, girl. She's getting back into the groove of it. Okay, it's gonna take some time. You know, the bus show takes a lot out of you. Okay, she's getting ready to be back in the mood, back in the fun times.
So anyway, we all know Amber was taking like a weekish off to go be with Fed Geen, so she could just like hang out with her, which fine. Honestly, I needed the break, right? Bus was, I think, also in a transition point between like Fat Camp and like back to regular recording. So I think it worked out like okay. In the end, it seems like, you know, I didn't think Amber was going to go to Fat Camp. She definitely didn't go. And they apparently like destroyed the house that they were in. So maybe it was like good that she didn't go. I don't know. But you know, at the end of the day, like I wasn't expecting her to go above and beyond for anything like truly ever. So she's back, and her first day back, it seems like they're interested in talking about a couple different things, but Amber has decided that she is just going to talk about dolphin facts, which cool, I guess. Interesting stuff, but okay. I mean, like that was an option. Technically, that was an option the whole time.
But speaking of smart, I think we should talk about dolphins.
How are you? I heard you got engaged. Is that true?
No.
Okay, well, I came up here to give y'all some bad news because we got it received on Queens. We all have to pay thousands of dollars for damages done to the property at Fat Camp. So that means Amber is going to have to take a cut for you two and the damages you did, just like being engaged, you got to do it.
Yeah,
What's up,
so
Amber?
I'm not taking a cut, but did you know that dolphins, they live in saltwater and some live in rivers?
Never heard of that.
It's kind of cool. Can you imagine being in a river and just a dolphin just
If we have to take a cut, I understand. I support it.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
should have
I
to
don't
pay back.
deserve that. I wasn't there.
Well, two
Oh,
of
well, listen.
the bus hosts were.
It is what it is. We
Well,
were
they
there.
can take it out of your cut. That makes really the most sense, right?
Well, it
Oh,
always
no,
comes
no,
off the top of the entire show.
Yeah, take a shot. The whole show's got to do it.
I'll go credit Keem, don't worry.
And this, I think, is like the crux of what I dislike about the LCU, is that their main form of like entertainment or what they think is funny is people like damaging themselves, damaging the structures that they're in, you know, punching holes in walls, and like trying to embarrass themselves by like putting glitter on themselves or something like that.
What kind of place is this?
And I think it's just like, and if you enjoy this, no tea, no shade. I can understand why someone would be into it, but I just like, I can't get down with like the if your only way to be funny, to be entertaining is to punch a hole in the wall, then I don't think you're a funny, entertaining person. Sorry. That's just where I'm like, if you can't entertain somebody with, being comedic and not destructive, then I don't think that you're a funny person. Whatever. Anyway, so it seems like they destroyed the house. I believe it. It looked like it was a mess from the small clips that I've seen. And when you look in the background of, I think this is Tina. Is that Tina? Her house looks like it's been destroyed too. And I don't know why anyone would find that entertaining, and two, be willing to do that to themselves. But I guess live your life.
Fire the ham beast and let the bus drive forward.
We're not
Amber
firing
is
Amber.
worthless.
Amber makes this show. We have to understand
No.
this. Everyone needs to
Listen.
recognize this show is because of Amber Lynn Reed. All right, Bus wouldn't exist without her. Girl World wouldn't be here supporting their shows without her. She deserves her flowers. She's back. She's here to do a job. She wants to entertain y'all. She has dolphin facts that you guys aren't even listening to.
Okay, so I think they keep bringing up over and over again that Gora World is going to leave if Amber Lynn leaves, right? If she's no longer a part of the LCU, she's not, the audience isn't going to stay. And I think on one hand, they are probably correct in that. But I also think this is more important, that Gora World, from my perspective, right, whatever, and granted, I'm like part of Gora World, and so maybe I have like a rose-colored glasses situation, but like the people who are interested in Gora World don't really like this like contrived weird LCU nonsense. I think every single person that I've seen do commentary on this continually says whatever is happening in the LCU is like straight up unwatchable. It is just the equivalent of like AI slop. It's like I don't even want to engage with it at all. And the vast majority of people who I have found in Gora Worlds are highly intelligent and empathetic people, and so they would leave. However, they are not your bread and butter audience. Do you know what I mean? I think the bread and butter audience that you're looking for in the LCU is going to be people who think that whatever it is that you're doing over here is interesting. And we already talked about how I feel about like whatever's happening in the LCU and why I don't think that it's entertaining. But I don't think the vast majority of Girl Worlds thinks that it's entertaining. I think if Amber Lynn leaves, there will be a handful of people who have found that they enjoy the LCU content. They'll stick around. They'll watch it more. I think it served that purpose. But the people who are watching it as part of Girl Worlds know that they're just observing, right? They don't want to give money. They're not giving donos. They're just like here because they need to know the lore. They're doing their homework for future exams. Does that make sense? And so like I can understand why you're saying, and I think it's accurate. However, I don't think that Girl Worlds as a whole being present in the LCU is doing you any favors at this point.
So Amber spends basically the entire stream talking about dolphins, which okay, but this is also the same person who said she'd sabotage the show if Tech wasn't fired. And it kind of feels like that's what's happening here, except she also admits she's just really happy right now, like on cloud 9 after Emily just left, so it doesn't even come across intentional.
And I honestly think that Apathetic Facts is correct in this. I think I think Karina has said it before. I just don't know if Amber is able to, what's the word I'm looking for, carry a show on her own. I think she comes in here with like random dolphin facts, and I don't know that it's even intended to like sabotage things. I think it's just that maybe she thought that this would be entertaining, but it feels like just a random side quest. And again, I'm like sometimes down for a random side quest, but like, do I think that's what the audience of the LCU is looking for? No, I don't.
What was the highlight of the weekend?
I think just like connecting with her again, because like we have gone through a lot. Like we were very toxic, both of us were. And then taking, months, like we weren't together for months. Like I'm talking like in a relationship. Bettering ourselves and like healing like has really improved our relationship, and it just makes me really happy to like connect with her again like that, because I never expected it, like ever. And it's just, I feel very positive about our relationship. Yeah, very much a healing era.
Yeah.
And
Sure, Jan.
And every time that Ambi talks about Emily, I just am like, are you that desperate? Are you seriously, are you that desperate that you would take somebody like Emily, who has like gone out of her way to embarrass you, to humiliate you, to put you down, and you would intentionally go back to her after you were already broken up and live like thousands miles away from each other? The answer is yes, apparently, which is honestly very sad. I think their relationship is just weird and gross, but like I said, I suppose I'm glad they found each other, because, if Emily is going to do harm to someone, I guess I'm glad it's somebody who like has been terrible to other partners themselves, right? I don't know.
It's not like that at all. Like, we haven't had an argument in literally months.
Amber's like, we're in our healing era. We're doing so good. We haven't had an argument in months, which is like pretty easy to do if you don't see each other. If you're able, like, she was here visiting you for what, a handful of days. I think like pretty much anyone can be on their best behavior for a handful of days, Amber. Just in my opinion, not that it really matters, whatever. But she goes on to describe what has to be like the most you know what I mean, coded. I don't think I'm allowed to say those words on YouTube, but the most coded date I think I could ever imagine them doing, and it feels like just her mentioning it feels like it should be a violation of the terms of service. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Have you guys ever been to the melting pot?
What is
Is
that?
that Chinese food? Is it Indian food? What is
No, it's like kind of romantical, right? So me and my girlfriend went, and it's where you like eat like fondue, and like you have like salads, and you have a lot of like raw vegetables, and like you cook your own meat in front of you. It was actually really cool, right? But what I thought was so sweet is when they brought the dessert, our waitress wrote on the plate, absence makes your heart grow fonder, because we're in a long distance relationship. So you guys should, like, if you want to go on a date, definitely do the melting pot, because it's like a 2 hour experience. Like, you sit there, you get to like talk to each other, you're cooking your own food. Like, it's so, I loved it. It was so fun.
And the thing is that like Amber seems to miss is that that's what most people do at their house like every night. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am a full adult. I have a job. At the end of the day, my wife and I come home together and we make dinner at the same time and we talk, right? Like, that is not an atypical experience for people to have. I will say it is more challenging if you are away from each other, but like, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean? You just the thing that makes it different is that you got to hand feed each other the whole time. That's what made it a better experience for you, because most people talk to their partner like all the time, and so it's not like weird that we spent 2 hours talking. The thing that made it like very special and unique for her is the thing that I'm like, ew, could you stop? Like, stop. There are children here. I'm kidding. I hope there are not children here, but if you're a child, you should definitely not be watching this. This is not for children. But like, it feels so weird and so icky, and I just, their relationship makes my skin crawl because it feels so destructive and so negative, and I just, God, ew, the biggest ew possible.
Through the screen. Amber, are you engaged?
No,
Do you plan on getting engaged?
I don't know. I'm not the asker of the engaged. So if she ever asks me, that's on her. But
Your fingers.
there's, huh?
You show your fingers.
No ring.
So we get a, I guess, confirmation that she is indeed not engaged, which we already knew. Obviously, even if they, you know, she had been wearing a ring, I think it was just a troll, and that's what I think I said that before, but you know, whatever. Anyway, I didn't think that they were actually engaged. I think maybe she would have done a better announcement for it. But I think the interesting thing that I noted in here is that she said, I'm not the Oscar. I won't be asking. And as another queer woman, I guess I can understand where it gets a little bit like, who asks who in this situation. And so I guess that's something that they have like pre-arranged. They've made a decision. I do think that like, it's interesting that Amber is like, there's no way I would be the one asking. When, at least from my perspective, most, especially like queer women who have gotten engaged, both of them asked each other at different times, or they kind of like made a decision together to get married. It wasn't like, it was more equitable maybe than some straight relationships. And just from my perspective, who cares? I mean, like, you do whatever you want to do in your relationship, it doesn't matter to me. But it's interesting that she's like, I am not the asker, I need to be asked, which is very interesting to me, because I think, at least again from my perspective, most queer women will have like discussed this prior to them actually getting engaged. It's not like a surprise question. It's like a thing that they have discussed extensively prior to potentially getting engaged. And so I just thought that that was so interesting, and also like shows her really buying into like more heteronormative tropes, if that makes sense. Like it she needs the more masked person to be the one to ask her, which is just like not the relationship dynamic that exists in a lot of like especially queer women relationships. um Not that it's wrong, it's just like it's interesting and I'm making note of it, you know.
Was in the bus VC all night into this morning, and now some of that has leaked.
Go get fake engaged again. Just because girl world is crazy doesn't mean I got fake engaged. They just like spreading rumors. Every time Tommy and I go to bingo, she daubs my ring finger. Who fucking cares? Y'all bored and
No surprise, Amber being a weirdo in the VC. But you know, I guess I was participating in the speculation on that. So you know, whatever. But I think Amber knew what she was doing. Do you know what I mean? She knew. She knew. Anyway, Amber is apparently entering her Brooklyn era because she has decided that she is interested in working on a second show, Low Heroes. And honestly, like the dolphin facts and the just like rambly nature and like weird scammy nature of Locale Bus, somehow it's even worse in Local Heroes. I think I covered the first one, or at least I talked about it, or at least I don't know, whatever. I watched it or something. Amber did a show with Gemini and whoever this other woman is, and it it was present. It was a thing that happened, and it was so like, what are you even doing? But now apparently that's Amber has like, I would really like for this to be a regular thing that I'm doing. I'd like to bore my audience a little bit more. So she is on Low Cow Heroes. And again, it's like the most entertaining thing that they can think to do is wear sunglasses or wear like silly things on their faces. Which again, if you're into that, sure, live your life. Is it something that I find entertaining? No, but here we are.
Hello, hello. Oh.
So anyway, this is Amber's new show, Local Heroes. I think Gemini and Christina, I think, we're already on it, but Amber's gonna join it. And it seems like Keem really wants this to be like her new made one. And let me tell you, from the jump, it is a tough watch. I mean, we've talked about this many times, even in this video. I would consider Bus to be unwatchable. This is somehow even worse.
The characters already started. Oh my god.
You're muted. You have no audio.
Who?
Gemini. They can only hear Amber, and Christina, you are definitely muted. Good luck, Hero. You got this. Let's go, Hero.
Sorry, I'm calling on the higher power to offer me strength in watching this because it is already so, like, do people enjoy this? Do people? Somebody must. I need to know, like, what's going on in their heads. I need to know more about them because if you find this interesting, please, for the love of God, comment. Tell me what's going on. Why why are you tuning in to watch this? I guess the good news is it's just like little snippets of things to react to because for the most part it's just so boring and so dull. I could have used some dolphin facts, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
Hello! Hello! I can see I'm talking. I can see my things jumping.
Oh my god, do your jumping jacks!
We gotta do like 60 jumping jacks in this bit. Just so you're aware.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up already.
Well, Amber has to do as many as she can at her size. Posh Josh said this goes out to all our top knot queens, to all the horse gorlies.
Oh yeah, what do you mean?
I'm not exaggerating when I say that there was a Toyota commercial that showed mid-roll in the middle of this, and I watched the whole thing. It was so much more interesting and felt like a reprieve from whatever is happening on Local Hero. Anyway, honestly, the most interesting thing that we saw is that we get to see Amber's like choosy hoard, all of like the crap that she has accumulated, and at some point in the not too distant future, Keem is going to come on and start roasting her, and that's when things like actually get kind of interesting, because for the first part of this, it was like, I don't know. I've been in like group calls that's like, I've been in work meetings that seem more interesting and more engaging than this. This was just like, I can't believe anyone is watching this.
You know?
Show that to Amber again. Amber, is that a soothing thing? What is that?
It's so cute.
My God, you have a problem,
I have
B.
100 bags, you guys.
Yeah, because you couldn't choose.
You have a problem, babe. You have a really bad problem, babe.
Who wants to play choosy?
Damn, I scared my dog with it. She don't like it.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm trying to sell them and get rid of them. I'm over it.
This is god awful. I'm listening to this while I play Rocket League. What is happening over here?
It might be awful to you, but it's not awful to girl world, Keem.
Gemini is actually incorrect here. Girl World does think it's awful.
Well, they're not here because there's only 400 viewers.
Oh my God. She promoted it on Bus and the stream had to get deleted.
It's not a first good impression. Gemini, listen, it really doesn't come on Amber. It doesn't come on Christina. It only comes on you, right? Because you're the one that's got to like step up to the plate and be like, yo, I can show run and make a big show.
I
What
am
the f is
show
happening?
running, Keem.
I'm about to get pissed. I'm about to get
God,
pissed.
here this girl go.
I did not come over here for Keem for you to direct me, for you to pop into my shows. This is for me to hang out and have a good time. Leave.
Amber, I want your hangout to not be seen as an L.
How is this an L? We're all having fun, bro.
I'm not here to start trouble, Big Murphy.
You are. You're f***ing pissing me off. Like, why do you do this every day?
No,
I think
Every day.
we are having fun, but I don't think Keem's having fun listening to it while he's playing Rocket.
I'm not here to cause problems. I'm just saying, like, we got to make it better. We need more people engaged.
Nobody knows about this.
And the thing that Amber just like consistently forgets, somehow it consistently escapes her. I genuinely cannot figure out how she hasn't comprehended it, how she hasn't like fully figured it out at this point. This is like a show, right? Keem's main job is to make money. And so if you're not doing that, then from his perspective, it's going to be a flop, right? I think it's clear that she would like to just kind of hang out, be besties, do whatever. I think that's a valid thing, but that's like something you do in your own time. That's something you do in your free time. That's not really something that you get paid to do.
Italian, you know that, right?
On second thought, I must say I'm completely wrong. This show has been absolutely great. It's been highly entertaining, and
What? What are you doing, Keem?
I'm trying to get her back. I'm not fucking with you. I promise you. It was just kind of mid. We got to make it better somehow.
Anyway, our queen of receiving and taking constructive criticism, like freaks out, and Keem has to like frantically see if she'll stay, and so he like, does like a 180. And I gotta say, this would be like a very weird whiplash to get as a employee. Not that, I mean, I've talked about this before, but I think this place seems like a genuinely terrible place to work, but whatever, I guess. People are choosing to do it, maybe out of necessity and maybe out of something else, but I guess they're choosing to do it, so whatever, live your life. But I made a video about Keem, and I made a joke about him gentle parenting Amber, and someone said, this isn't gentle parenting, this is permissive parenting. And I would have to agree, because if Keem is coming out here and he says, hey, I think you're doing a bad job, I need you to do better, Amber gets upset. Then he says, just kidding, that was a joke. And he's like hoping that is still communicated. But, his actual sentiment is actually still communicated. However, it's coming across as like, he is just like, I need to say this thing, so I'm going to, but then Amber's going to get mad. And so I'm going to say, oh, just kidding, I like it. And it's just like the same cycle over and over again.
Keem, did you only put us in the A circuit because you thought you was going to get a girl world redirect?
I put you in the spot because you guys trying to make a better time for Amber. Remember?
No, you're trying to
She couldn't do noon.
Girl World to live.
Sorry, Keem, but you're a fucking asshole for this.
Oh my
Genuinely.
God, what did I do? I just came in and said, like, we got to work on this show, make it a little bit better.
There's nothing. I don't want that. How can you not process that?
Made more than
noggin?
glass.
This is so annoying. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I see. Come on. Why am I a bad guy no matter what? We got to work on it and have like more theme stuff.
This is so stupid. This is not why I wanted to come here.
You're right.
Leave me the fuck alone, Keem. That is what I want. I just want to have fun. I want to just be carefree. You are putting too much fucking stress on me, and I'm tired of it. You're lucky I'm still here.
So here's the deal. I would argue that doing a live show every day is probably quite stressful. I think, if we watch like late night talk show hosts or something, there's a reason why there's a whole bunch of people that work on that team. And it's valid to be like, it would be really hard to come up with like genuinely entertaining content every single day for multiple hours. I fully agree with that. Amber, you kind of knew what you were signing up for. I think most people would know this already. But more importantly, like, if you're listening, here's just like a little piece of like workplace advice, okay? Because I think you might need to join the regular workforce after this. Part of your boss's job is to tell you what to do and to tell you when you're doing things incorrectly. Does that make sense? Like, one of the maybe main things that they do is that they will make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do in expectations with their company, right? And one of the expectations is that you have an entertaining show and that you make money doing it. And I can't understand how this hasn't clicked, how we're still having this same silly argument multiple times.
Genuinely. This is so stupid.
Amber, what do you like to do for fun?
I don't want to talk to you.
Oh my God.
She plays with her toys, her choosies. That's what she does.
Like, we were all having such a fucking good time, and like, genuinely, I was like, okay, like, this is making me want to stay in the LCU, and now I just don't want to be here. Like,
okay,
I can't have one place to where I could just, it's whatever.
Okay.
So the thing is, Amber, most people do have a place. Do you know what I mean? Most people have friends or families or space outside of work. They don't make their work their personality. Does that make sense? Like, it's not healthy or appropriate for you to have the only space that you have friends or that you can relax being your place of work because you're here to work. Does that make sense?
Oh, I just want this to be not just fun. I want this to be great for y'all, you know?
I don't want that, bro. I'm tired of the pressure. Boss has been too much. Now I need something where there's no pressure. There's nothing.
Amber, I get it, Amber. There will be no pressure. But Thick Gemini, me and you are going to talk. We're going to have meetings. I'm going to put all the pressure that I would normally put on Amber on you.
I've said it multiple times, but when we think of like that, if you've ever been a supervisor, there's like a chart where they talk about like high delivery, high needs, I think, versus like low delivery, low needs. It seems like Amber is in like high delivery, high needs, and so she needs to continue being like delivering. But like, I have talked about this multiple times, but this is such like a weird, bad, poorly managed place to work, which I guess it sort of has to be successful, right? Like, people are not going to show up to work and do all this if the workplace is entirely appropriate, if that makes sense. Like, you kind of need to put people in a weird, bad headspace, otherwise they're not going to do it. And so I understand, but like, every time Keem comes up here, I'm like, would this not be so frustrating if I was Gemini? I'd be like, literally, like, the person who is here to be the center of attention should have the most pressure. The person who makes the most money should have the most pressure. Does that make sense? I would be so frustrated if I was him.
Crazy.
I can't even put pressure on Thick Gemini, Amber. Come on.
I really just don't care anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, whatever.
Pissy with the 2, you work for Keem. He's never gonna not be involved.
Keem came and ruined it. Like, I was having a good time and he literally just shat on it and it wasn't good enough for him. But it wasn't about him. Bus is about him, like making it up to his standards. This was not. This was supposed to be my own little separate thing so I could stay in the LCU because every day I think about leaving.
Amber, please do it. You should leave.
And this was supposed to be my little, like, I don't know. So someone said the whole LCU is about Keem. He owns it and he's the boss. What are you talking about? Keem did not care what Hero was doing ever. And that sounded so good to me. A place to just hang with my friend, put on a show, and make money while doing it. And now that I'm here, he wants to be all up on our fucking asses.
Anyway, in continuing the theme that the LCU is just the worst place in the world that someone can work, Keem comes out and makes, honestly, like a really gross joke about Amber's pets. And that's not actually the thing that I'm the most interested in. The most interesting thing, I think, is the fact that Gemini continues the really gross joke. And then Amber apparently thinks it is incredibly funny. So just emotionally prepare yourself because it's gonna be some real off-color jokes and you know, let's get into it, I guess.
You know what? Easter's coming up, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
Let's have an Easter egg hunt.
How?
We'll hide all of Amber's pets outside and she has to go find them. Okay, that's funny. Stop that.
You know what, Keem? I would agree with you on something. Bus is dying just like Rarity did. Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing at his joke and not mine? Mine was funnier. That's not fair.
Sorry, I'm laughing. What is happening?
I'm going crazy.
Wow.
Oh my god, guys.
That didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
And when I say that I think that the real Amber is coming through on the LCU, and that's, you know, like in a way a good thing because we're getting to see Amber, which we're getting to see all of her. So I guess that's good. So if there's anyone who is like, yeah, she's a good person, you know, okay, here's the deal. I have lived a whole life. I've had pets in that time. Those pets have passed away, and you know, my family doesn't really joke about things like that, but my wife's family, they do joke about things like that, and you know, joke not like things like that, right? They'll joke about lots of things, or they'll kind of like they'll make kind of like offhanded remarks about stuff. There are things that they would consider to be completely off limits, right? Like the death of a pet is pretty much where they would draw the line at that. They don't think that that's funny, especially if the pet died in like a really tragic way. You know, they maybe like reflect on the things that the pet did in the past and like, oh, this was funny, or do you remember the time that they did this and it was funny, right? But that is different than saying like, isn't it funny that they died? I think I don't know. I don't know truly how Amber could recover from this is what I'm saying, you know? Like lots of people joke at things, or gallows humor is a pretty common thing that people use to like cope with stuff or to, you know, kind of get through stressful situations. However, there's a difference between gallows humor, I would say, and joking about how like crummy things maybe happen to you, and joking that your pet has died when you were the one who was responsible for it. Does that make sense? I didn't like it. I don't know how there would be any possibility that Amber could return from something like this, but I guess I've seen her return from like worse stuff, so
Rosita Ray with the 10. What do you mean?
No, listen, I didn't laugh because it was funny. I laughed because have you ever like been so uncomfortable that like your body doesn't know how to react, so it laughs instead? That's what just happened.
So if you went to a funeral, you might burst out laughing.
I have before.
Yes.
What?
And one time my ex needed money for a U-Haul and they didn't have money and I just busted out laughing and I could not stop. But nothing was funny. It wasn't funny. It's just my body was like,
thank you, Rosie,
laughing. It was weird. I don't know.
It's got to be the BPD.
I only laugh when it's an open casket.
Yeah, that's what it
Why does this feel like it's been so much longer than it actually has been? It feels like I've been reacting to these videos for 300 years. Sorry. Amber or Glitter and Lasers recently posted, she was like, I posted the most boring thing ever, and why did people react to it? And I was like, why did you post something that you thought was the most boring thing ever? I do think I've cut this down to be the most interesting pieces and provided commentary. So hopefully you agree. I don't know. I usually listen to these like while I'm doing dishes, or not me. I listen to like other commentary people like while I'm driving. I put it on as like a podcast or like a podcast while I'm doing dishes. So hopefully you're enjoying it. But the last one we're going to do is again another Lol Cow Heroes. Again, when I do these, I think I'm just going to have to do like a supercut henceforth because these are just so dull. I can't believe anyone's watching them. But in this one, we get to see Amber put cake on her face for no particular reason.
Chat, if we get 20 20s, Amberlyn Reed's gonna smash a coconut cake in her face for Christina's birthday.
I don't have a cake.
Oh, it'll be there in about 10 minutes. I'll pull the fupa cheese, bitch.
Wait, time out. How do you have my address?
I'm pulling the fupa cheese, bitch. She gonna have a coconut cake.
Did you really send me a cake for real? If we don't reach the goal, do I get to eat it? I'm gonna be eating that.
Oh
if
my
you really
God.
got me a cake.
I'm not Tommy, but I'm about to feed this bitch apparently, because we ain't no 20s came through.
And like they order a coconut cake for her to come to her house, and if they get enough donations, she'll put it on her face. Ha 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 ha! It's so funny. I just love it. I think this is hilarious.
On Friday.
Yep.
So you, Amberlyn.
So she's reacting to Snowflake here, and of course the conversation turns sexual, with her saying he has a crush on her, and then immediately accuses Gemini of something.
You know what's really funny about you saying that? You literally tried to have phone sex with me today.
This girl, imagine being delusional.
No, you were like, what are you wearing? And
Yeah,
I thought this
you're
was
right.
just like,
Fairy, we're getting fired. Yes.
no, I thought
This has been a very consistent critique for Amber, and I would agree with it very much so, because the main insult that she has, or the way that she's able to try and like change a narrative, is by saying that this person has a crush on her, or this person is romantically entangled with her or interested in it or whatever, right? So Snowflake, who from my perspective very clearly does not seem to be expressing any sort of romantic interest in her, comes out and says, I have critiques of her. Her very first thought is, he has a crush on me. He definitely, he likes me in that sort of way. And I am like, what is broken in your mind that you like, either you think this is true, or two, you think other people are going to hear you say it and be like, yeah, he totally does. And it's a consistent thing that happens for her. Like every single insult that she has, it's sit on it and spin, or the ankle has a tiny little dipstick or whatever. It's so like immature, which I think we all know, but it's like a consistent thing that she's doing all the time.
He said I'm gonna die. He wishes he was under my fupa. He wishes he was the one who got to wipe my ass. He wishes he was the one who got to smell my natural pheromones. He wishes he was the one that was inside of my.
Oh yeah? What else?
I'm hoping
I'll
you're
stop
referring
there.
to the bush that's on the table behind you.
And I just gotta say, what a horrible day to understand the English language.
He thinks that he's like this perfect person, but yet he's like divorced. He's like a single like father, and those are things that are very well known. There's like no doxing involved. Hi.
Okay, and then she starts saying about how it's somehow embarrassing, I guess, for Snowflake that he's divorced and has a child. And I'm like, are you not dating Emily, who is divorced, or at least was like in a long-term relationship and has a child and is like a single parent? How is that embarrassing? is that not just like a normal thing that happens for adults? Like, I don't know, whatever.
She says when she sent me the cookie crumble video uncensored.
I've never sent you that video.
You're a lie. You are a
No, that's not
lying
true.
liar that lies.
I've never sent that.
Really? Fupa was in the call. Where's Fupa? Fupa
I've
was in the
never
call,
sent that.
and Life with
Fupa's never
Voldemort was
seen
in the
it.
call.
We should have a goal to where me and you recreate Amber's crumble cookie video.
Here's the thing. I don't know what that video is.
Oh, I can send it to you.
What is that?
A little clip for us to play. When we put it in the side.
Do you have it on hand? It's just like a favorite?
She sent the clip to me, a Voldemort, thick Gemini, and we all watched it together.
Do some gifts of it.
Are you sending it in the side chat? We gotta find out.
I did.
So what is it about? Is she just like eating like 10,000 calories?
Like, and she eats the cherry off of the cookie, and then she like rubs the cookie all over herself.
God.
Yeah. And
You've never seen it. You got it from someone
You literally
else.
sent it to me and told me to share screen and play it in the fucking call.
No.
And the thing is, Amber thinks that Gemini is her friend. She has made it clear that she thinks that like they really vibe, and in a way I guess I could see it. I could see where Gemini has a very similar energy to Amber, but Gemini's coming up here saying that he has received, for some reason, and viewed the cookie crumble cookie video, right? And apparently this has happened, and Cheese has talked about it, and you know, like it's been well documented. And Amber, so what I'm saying is Amber is like, Gemini are besties, but then Amber is like directly lying to him in front of everyone, or in this way. Like, this is how you end up with people who like maybe thought you were okay, and then you end up with a burned relationship, right? Because if they're like, well, if you're going to lie directly to my face, like what else are you willing to do? Do you know what I mean? This is how you like ruin relationships, Amber.
She is mad because she can't make money on a show by herself, so she's trying to get me fired so she can have a bigger cut with two hosts that are going to take 10%.
Anyway, we end the stream with Amber actually indeed getting the coconut cake all over her face, which is definitely not any sort of content for somebody else. It definitely isn't. I think it is entirely just for this, for very innocent reasons and for nothing else.
Smash
Prove you're
it,
the man of the
smash
hour.
It, smash it. Look at her, she's going to slow-mo. She's scared of putting the cake in her face, but she's not scared of putting it down her throat.
Look at those things.
Oh, all right. And that's all I had for today. I think, unfortunately, the LCU continues. The Laugh Factory over there is just continuing to churn out A+ content every single day. And now we've got Amber on 2 shows, which is apparently 4 hours of on-air time. In fairness, that's probably the most she's ever worked, so I can imagine she's like feeling overwhelmed by it. But I'm just really hoping that this era is ending. I'm hoping it's coming to a close soon, because I am just truly so sick of the LCU. I'm just so sick of it. It's getting so boring. And you know, Snowflake has started doing some things about the different characters in the LCU, which I think has been interesting. I think nobody has quite as big of a digital footprint as Amber does, but there's some characters over there. So thank you so much for being here. If you stayed this long, why don't we put like a birthday cake emoji in the comments? And if you liked it, please consider subscribing, liking the video. It really helps my channel. If you have anything else you think you'd like me to talk about, please let me know. Upcoming, I think I'm going to make a video about glitter and lasers, because she's back on the circuit. And of course, the Jillian Michaels video, because that's just a mess and a half too. So thank you so much for being here, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.